Be me, I work as a developer. During the pandemic, about 80% of the people I knew either lost their jobs or had to switch careers. Meanwhile, I just went remote. Same work, same chair, same screens. The outside world was collapsing, but I had a stable Wi-Fi. My girlfriend wasn't so lucky. She worked as a nurse in a hospital. At the peak of COVID, she was barely ever home. 3 to 4 days at a time, she'd be gone, staying in the hospital too busy or too exposed to come back. Protocols were nightmare, PPE shortages, people dying in the hallways. You know how it was if you were there, you know. Sometimes when she did come home, she'd sit silently for hours. Other times, she'd snap and just start ranting. Try to be supportive, ask what was wrong. One time I asked, and she just shook her head and said, "We've got this patient. He was 264 pounds. He tasted positive yesterday. Apparently, he was a nightmare, constantly complaining about the food, the noise, the temperature, everything. Even the bed didn't fit him, so they had to push 2 beds together." One of the other patients, yes, an actual sick COVID patient, gave up their own bed just so the guy would shut up. That poor man ended up sleeping on the floor next to him, just for some peace. That went on for about a week. The fat guy condition got worse. He needed oxygen, then machines, and then he died. Here's where it gets fucked up. At the morgue, COVID protocol meant the bodies had to be sealed in coffins before being transported. But they didn't have one big enough for this guy. Standard coffins just couldn't hold his weight or size. And the hospital didn't have time to order some custom XXL casket. Dead people were piling up and space was running out. So someone, I don't know who, and I don't want to know who, made a decision. They split him, literally. Cut the body in half, sealed him in 2 separate coffins, and sent both to burial. His mother came, sat by one of the boxes, crying her heart out. She didn't know she was mourning his legs, and no one had the guts to tell her. My girlfriend cried about it for weeks, not because he died, but because of what they were forced to do, what they had to become just to survive that hell. She quit nursing after the pandemic ended. We are in therapy now. She's still haunted. For obvious reasons, I won't name the hospital, but this happened in Russia. Jesus fucking Christ, Russia. Wow. I don't know if this is true, guys, but this is Russia for you. Let me know if this story is true. I mean, it could happen, it's Russia, but yeah. Let me know in the comments. Next story. I could have went ahead and sorted out by telling you my real name. Oh yeah, here we go. Mr. MK Ultra himself. Wherever, let's carry on. But I'm keeping it discreet because I don't want anyone, and I mean anyone, coming looking for me after the sort of events that unfolded before last week. I'm taking therapy sessions, but I don't think these images will ever go from my head. They're burned there like a nightmare which never fades away. The whole incident started a week before. I was still in college, pursuing a degree in mechanical engineering. Even though I was a bright student, I didn't have enough money to pay my college fees, as well as pay the rent, so I started looking for part-time jobs. Eventually, I got tired of looking. The only jobs I could have gotten were gas station attendants and waiters. That's when I came across this classified ad about a night guard in a hospital. The pay was really nice, enough for me to pay the rent and give my fees, and still have some extra though. I was skeptical of the position and the money. I still applied for the job. 2 days later, they told me to come over for an interview. I was surprised that I got the interview right away, but I packed my documents and went for it. The interview was smooth. Their main questions were whether or not I was comfortable spending the night away from home, and my health certificate. After reviewing my resume, they accepted me and told me to come to work starting tomorrow. They told me that I had to do this job for 1 week straight, and if after that I wanted to discontinue, I'd still be paid my week's salary. With the amount of money, I didn't even think of quitting, so I agreed the contract and decided to start the next day. The hospital was actually an asylum for mentally ill people, and many brilliant doctors used to work in it. My shift began at 11 p.m. and lasted all the way up to 6 a.m. Awfully long, I thought. I reached the spot by 10:30 p.m. and saw the evening shift guard backing himself up. Hey there. I waved at him and went toward him. He looked at me, adjusted his pace. "You are that new guy, aren't you?" he said, and got up from his chair. We shook hands and sat down. "They paying an awful lot of cash, isn't it?" "Yeah, I need the money," I told him. "Sure you do. Otherwise, only people with a death wish sign up for this night shift," he said. "Why do you say that?" I quickly asked. He was about to answer, but then the alarm rang, marking the beginning of my shift. "Well then, it's your time, I guess," he said, and got up with his bag. "You were telling me something," I asked as he was leaving. "Tomorrow morning, boy. You won't catch me up anywhere around here after 10. Good night and good luck," he said before heading out. "Weird guy," I mumbled. I sat down on the chair. Sure, the hospital didn't look creepy at night, but the paycheck told everything. I was about to lean back in my chair when I noticed an envelope laying on the table, marked urgent. I opened it and took the paper out. Must be instruction for me, I thought. The letter was written as follows. "Greetings, new employee. We are delighted to have you in our company, and we are obliged that you have cooperated with us and agreed to our terms and conditions. Below are some rules, which are mandatory for each and every night guard to follow. It's advised to keep this letter with you, or have a photo of it in your phone after reading. Rather than trying to memorize it, we wish you good luck in your 7-hour journey. Your shift begins at exactly 11 p.m. and ends at 6 a.m. sharp. Come on time and leave only when the shift ends. Coming late or leaving early could result in dangerous situations, both in this hospital and to you, too. After your first hour passes, you'll be visited by a man in a blue overcoat and black fedora. You might see him from the corner of your eye, but never under circumstances. Look at him directly. He might ask you to look at him, but respond politely. "Sorry, but I've been told not to." Then ask him if he wants something and stay quiet until he speaks. If he says he wants to meet a patient at bed 13, room 106, punch a ticket using the machine in the drawer. If he says anything else, reply, "Sorry sir, not allowed." You might feel his face shifting, changing, distorting, but never look at it directly or in a reflection. This client doesn't have a face. 3. In the next hour, go to the 5th floor, enter the room 510. If it's empty, it means it has escaped. Hide in a nearby cupboard or closet. Wait until the lights go out again. Only then step out and exit. Silently, if you see a doctor working with his back to you, ask if he needs something. Place it on the nearest desk, acknowledge him, and then leave. If all goes well, it is dormant. Don't ask what is it. Just know it doesn't like humans. 4. During the 3rd hour, a nurse might ask you to follow her to floor 16. Politely refuse and say, "You'll send someone else." Do not follow her. Our building only has 15 floors. 5. In the 4th hour, you may feel dizzy. Do not fall asleep. Use your phone for music or grab a drink from the soda machine, but stay awake. If you absolutely must sleep, lock yourself in the guard cabin. Never sleep outside it. If you do, you might not wake up the same, or worse, not wake up at all. 6. During the 5th hour, go to the 10th floor. Take the 2nd elevator, not the 1st. It will show you out of order. It will stop at floor 7. An elderly woman will enter. Greet her. Ask her where she's going. If she gives a number, stay. If she says, "I'm going the other way," step out. Apologize. Don't look at her as the doors close. 7. On the 10th floor, go to the room marked OT. Knock twice, enter when called. No matter what you see, keep a straight face. Do not scream or vomit. Ask why you were called. Regardless of the reply, say, "Sorry sir, I'll leave." If you fail to stay quiet, run, take the stairs. The doctor will chase you. If you are lucky, you'll make it to your cabin. Lock the door, stay inside. He can't enter. 8. The 6th hour. Another guard might come, saying your shift is over. Your watch will show 6 a.m. Don't believe it, tell him you'll work the extra shift. You still have 1 hour left. 9. Once your shift truly ends, there will be an announcement. Night shift over. Only then can you go home. You've survived. Hope you have carefully read the above mentioned rules and made a note of them. Failure to follow any might result to severe physical or emotional trauma for which the company will not be held responsible. Wishing you a safe and a sound night shift. It's been an emotionally and physically challenging week for me. Just typing this makes my hand tremble. I don't know how I survived that 1 week. 7 hours each day. I followed the rules as carefully as I could. Only once did fail rule 7. I still have nightmares about what I saw in that OT and how the thing they call the doctor almost made me a subject on his table. After a week, I quit the job immediately. They paid me and told me keep everything I experienced a secret, even though they all wore smiling faces. I knew what they really meant. I'm sharing this to calm myself. To anyone who read this, thank you. You helped me more than you know. That was a good one, guys. Bro, forget to keep it a secret. He's dead now. In June 1972, a woman appeared in a hospital in nothing but a white blood-covered gown. Now this in itself should not be too surprising, as people often have incidents nearby and come to the nearest hospital for medical attention. But there were 2 things that caused people who saw her to vomit and flee in terror. The first being that she wasn't exactly human. She resembled something close to mimicking but had the dexterity and fluidity of a normal human being. Her face was as flawless as mannequins, devoid of eyebrows and smeared in makeup. There was a kitten clamped in her jaws so unnaturally tight that no teeth could be seen, and the blood was still squirting out over her groin and into the floor. She then pulled it out of her mouth, tossed it aside, and collapsed. From the moment she stepped through the entrance to when she was taken to a hospital room and cleaned up, before being prepared for sedation, she was completely calm, expressionless. The doctors thought best to restrain her until the authorities could arrive, and she did not protest. They were unable to get any kind of response from her, and most staff members felt too uncomfortable to look directly at her for more than few seconds. But the second the staff tried to sedate her, she fought back with extreme force. Two members of staff had to hold her down as her body rose up in the bed with that same black expression, her emotionless eyes toward the male doctor, and did something unusual. She smiled. As she did, the female doctor screamed and let go out of shock. In the woman's mouth were not human teeth but long sharp spikes, too long for her mouth to close fully without causing any damage. The male doctor stared back at her for a moment before asking, What in the hell are you?" She cracked her neck down to her shoulder to observe him, still smiling. There was a long pause. The security had been alerted and could be heard coming down the hallway. As he heard them approach, she darted forward, sinking her teeth into the front of his throat, ripping out the jugular and letting him fall into the floor, gasping for air as he choked on his own blood. She stood up and leaned over him, her face coming dangerously close to his as the light faded from his eyes. She leaned closer and whispered in his ear, "I am God." The doctor's eyes filled with fear as he watched her calmly walk away to greet the security man. His last ever sight would be watching her feast on them, one by one. The female doctor who survived the incident named her the Expressionless.